Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel ETS Reacts, and today we're doing our anime weekly review. It's something that I really look forward to doing because it's an interaction between me and you guys, my community. So I'm just happy to do this every week to kind of see what you guys thought of the episodes of week 4 of winter 2026 and kind of what I think, and we can have like little conversations in the comments of what you guys thought of each episode or what you didn't. So to move forward, it's something that I think would be even cooler if we could get more and more people involved in this process. So let's not wait anymore, and let's wait a little bit more, because if you didn't watch the last video, let's give a quick breakdown of the scale that you see here. 10 is like the best anime episode you've ever watched. 9 is wow, that was amazing, like JJK season 3 episode 4. That was last week, no, the week before. And then 8 is like really good, 7 is solid, 6 is average, 5 is kind of and then anything 4 and lower was kind of stinky. So let's get into Oshinoko now. I thought Oshinoko this week was probably a 7. It was solid. It's about Ruby's big brain play that she had with the whole cosplay event. Like, she set up that whole event knowing what the director would do, so that she could gain a bigger status within the industry, because how she recommended her idea to the AD and the director to get more involved and become more popular to help track down her dad, or to help Aqua track down her dad, but then she's not involving Aqua at all in it. So I'm kind of like, what's going on here with that play, because in season 2 we saw that she was like, I'm gonna help Aqua try to track down her dad, but then she's not really helping Aqua, she's keeping it a secret from him. But yeah, so it was a really solid episode, and I thought 7 was where it kind of went. JJK, it's probably a 7.5, so I'm gonna place it in front of Oshinoko. It was almost like 2 different episodes. So you had like the director portion of it, and then you had the Fight Club portion of it, which the director portion of it was really good to me. I never really had focused that much on the director as an anime only type person. And his backstory, I guess not really his backstory, but kind of learning about his cursed energy really threw me off, because how he takes souls from people that have died and place them into stuffed animals is kind of creepy and horror-y. And then seeing the little interactions like the mom had of like with the kid in a stuffed animal and her collapsing and crying was crazy. And then these not directors, the higher ups, they hold everybody to this jujitsu society standards, but then they turn around and they let Kenjaku do whatever he wants to do, and they're taking out the director, Gojo, like Yuji, all the people that are any good. So I mean, those guys are worthless. So that was kind of the first part of it. And then the second part was the whole Fight Club with Yuji and Fushiguro trying to go and track down this third year who might know something about Fushiguro's sister or some sort of play to help them in the calling game. And so they go and do this Fight Club, fake fight with Panda, which was pretty cool animation. And then that third year, is it Hikaru or something? He went on this whole rant about passion and gambling and da-da-da, and now all of Japan's going to get into this Fight Club, and you're kind of like, what the heck? I don't see all of Japan getting into this Fight Club. It would be interesting to see how that is going forward, and, it ended with him fighting Yuji because he thought, he was sent by Jiu-Jitsu high school. So it was a good overall episode with 7.5 for me. Tamon B-side, still up right now. I don't think we'll be up in another day or something, but right now it is, and it's probably in this 9 to 8 range, and I think it's more of like an 8. It was really good. Kinoshita got called to nurse Ori for her housekeeping job, and Ori got jealous about the whole Tamon thing and being his girlfriend maybe, and then Tamon got all jealous because she was taking care of Ori when he was sick. And then you got the cool relationship between Ori and Tamon, and then they practiced way too hard for their competition to be center, and neither one of them got it. The eater leader got it, And then it was a super cool scene at the end with Kinoshita and Tamon where he's feeling down in the dumps and Kinoshita holds up her sign being like, "You're always the center in my heart," and he starts crying on stage. And I wonder if Ori saw that because they kind of zoomed in on him, and you're kind of like, to me it was like, oh, there's something special there, and I feel like everyone can feel it. So I wonder if Ori kind of felt that too, and where things will be going forward with them. Then Polar Opposites, I think it's a 9 or an 8. I think it's my favorite episode of the week. I think it's an 8.5, so it's slightly higher than Timon. I said it when we were talking. I feel like the whole time I'm smiling, and like at the end, my cheek muscles hurt because I've been smiling for 25 minutes. It's just one of those where it's just such a lighthearted, like really cool relationships with every single one of those high school kids, and just the way that how it goes with the library and how they're Yamada is talking about being in Tokyo U, and then they go to the Konbini, and Taria's there, who's just this funny gloomy guy, and then Yamada trashing on Suzuki, and then the brother trashing on Suzuki, which I find hilarious, and then Tani rolling up, and they have this kind of heart-to-heart moment about trying to have dignity in the relationship or just being open to your partner. So it was a really good episode, and that's why I think it's a 8.5 there, and it's my favorite one of the week. And then Hannah Kimmy, episode 1 here, I kind of go between a 6 and a 5.5, so I'm gonna give it a 6. I just think it was average, and it's episode 1. So what happened is there's this American girl who's transferring to a school in Japan because her track oshi is there, and she loves her track oshi. And so she transferred to the school. Well, it's an all-boys school, so everyone's a boy. She cuts her hair short, and she's trying to hide her identity as a boy. Well, she goes up on the first day and is like, "I like you," to the dude, and like everyone else thinks you're a dude, and everyone's like, "What the heck?" And so then it goes downhill right from there, and he leaves every room that she walks into, and then she stalks him in his sleep, like poking his face, almost kissed him while he was sleeping. Like it was strange but funny. And then at the end, Trakoshi figures out that she's a girl, and so I'm excited to see kind of where that goes with episode 2, to see how their relationship progresses now that he knows she's a girl. So overall, that's kind of where my rankings stand, with Polar Opposite being my favorite, Hannah Kimmy being my least favorite, but it's still, it was just an average episode this week. Maybe next week's a really good one. So let me know what you all think in the comments, and let's see what the one response, let's see if anyone else has responded. Probably not. The one response said this week, I appreciate that person taking their time and filling this out, and maybe next week we can get a couple more. So they thought Oshinoka was a 9 out of 10. It was really good this week. Timon, 10 out of 10. I can get that. Really solid. Jujutsu Kaisen. Really could pull on the heartstrings there in the first 10 minutes with the director. Wow, they thought Polar Opposites was their least favorite this week. It was my favorite. I really enjoyed it. Then Hannah Kimmy was a 10 out of 10. I'm excited to see where it goes going forward with Track Oshi and how their relationship involves. I don't even think that's a word in the English dictionary. So yeah, thank you for taking your time to do that. Let's go see what my channel is kind of doing here. So right now, as of this, I posted this morning, 13 views. I think anything to me that's a successful video right now is about what my subscriber count is. I hear other reactors say hit your 10% range. Well, when you only have 28 subscribers, I think I'm trying to hit anything that's like in the 20 range. I think it's a successful video. So 13 there for a really good episode of You and I Are Polar Opposites, but it's slightly lagging behind where every other Polar Opposite video is. 29, 38, 63. So it's lagging behind a little bit, but you can see just the steady drop off of it. But I think that's probably similar to what this video was at that point. So it's still a really good one. I'm going to put it out just because I enjoy it, and it gets, decent views. It's probably my second best performing one. The Hannah Kimmy is currently at 16. Let's see if it's got any more. Ooh, 17. Nice, cute photo. So yeah, at 16, and I think Hannah Kimmy's kind of in a weird spot to me. I'm not doing 6'7". I'm doing weird spot. the Because I'm 5 weeks late, right? But I think my audience tailors to more romance, and to be honest, I think maybe my reaction could have been a little bit better on that video. But I think overall, I think that's a number I'm pretty solid with, because it's only a day in and it's going to get into the 20s, I believe, at 17. So I'm excited to see where Hannah Kimmy is going forward. Then by far my best performing video is Tamon B-side. It's always been that way, even after it gets blocked here. 539, 48 on this one, explaining about, how my video got hit, and then the videos that got blocked that, were doing really good. Like this episode 2, like I talked about in this video, if you want to see it more, was really popping off, and 500 for this one, 500 for that one. So thank you all for really getting into my Tamon B-side series, because one, it's a really cool anime that I enjoy watching, and I'm glad you guys enjoy my reaction for that too. That was literally just at 14. How could it be at 10? Yeah, 14. So there's 14 for JJK, which I think is a little bit of a down week, just because this Maki one was so good. I think it's the peak of this season 3, and it got 60 views. And for being such a small fry for a big anime show, it did pretty good. And 14, I think it's not what I obviously want it to be, right? I said in the 20s, but it's still a show that I really enjoy. And then you see Oshinoko did pretty well this past week with 26. So yeah, that's kind of where my channel is at. Thank you all for taking the time or the one person for taking the time to fill this out. I think it's still something cool, interaction between me and you. And that's my week 4 final ranking there of the 5 animes that we're watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out, and it builds our community even more to maybe we get more people, responding on this Google form and continuing to build out this community. So I thank you. Hope you all keep liking and watching my reactions, and I'll see you next time.